Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream. And yeah, a little bit disappointed today. Obviously, 2 more dropped points for Chelsea with a 2-2 draw at Nottingham Forest. Not the best performance from the Blues. Obviously, 2 goals from Raheem Sterling, an improved performance from him, particularly in the second half. But again, more of the same from Chelsea. Disappointing, not good enough overall against a side with the worst away record in the league. But we're not going to talk about that right now because we're going to talk about something that is positive. We finally got the here we go for Maurizio Pochettino. He will sign the contract and be announced as new Chelsea manager in the coming days and will start in June. We all knew it was happening. We finally got that announcement now. Dharmesh, how much of a lift do you think that could potentially be for the last 3 games of the season? I mean, I don't know if it will be much of a lift or not, but I mean, I guess it's good that we finally got the here we go on Poch. I mean, what are your thoughts on Pochettino? Because I know when all this was going on and stuff that, you know, you weren't actually that against Poch. Like, this was when Nagelsmann and co were still in the race. You weren't totally against the Pochettino appointment. So yeah, what are your thoughts now that it's finally done?
Yeah, big up Charlie, big up the chat as well. It's been a minute since I've been on the channel, bro. So yeah, smash the like button and sub to Charlie's channel as well, man. Help him get to, is it 3K now?
People know what to do, guys. We're less than 100 from 3K. So if you're locked in here and you're new, just hit that subscribe button, smash a like, get involved in the chat, and yeah, let's do it. But yeah, bro, Pochettino.
Yeah, Poch, man. Yeah, do you know what, man? Yeah, I'm not complaining with Poch, man. That was I think myself and obviously you as well were one of the few people that actually threw Poch's name out there when we were obviously linked with Nagelsmann and Enrique. And yeah, I think for where we are right now, I think he's the type of manager that we need with the crop of players that we got, the current situation we're in right now, to obviously build towards winning the Premier League again. Whether he does that, we don't know. But one thing I know for a fact is I think he'll definitely get us playing a good football again, score a lot of goals, keep clean sheets as well on the way. And I think he can definitely cement us as, a Champions League team again, which we obviously currently aren't right now. The league table doesn't know. We're, 12th now? So I think for the appointment right now...
Give us some credit, bro. We're 11th.
Oh, we're 11th. I thought we were 12th.
Yeah, no, bro. We moved up to no, I think we're still 11th, mate. We're still 11th.
Yeah. Either way, it's still shit for us. But my point is, I think for what Pochettino can do and what he's proven in the past is that he can sort of take us into those sort of Champions League places where we actually need to get to first before we challenge to a league. Whether he does that, we don't know. Whether he's capable of that, we don't know. But I think it's the right appointment for all the crop of players we have right now. Big up Lawrence in the chat as well, bro.
Is he locked in?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Yes, here he is, mate. If you want to come and join, let me know. If you've got time, you want to pop in for a few minutes, then just give me a shout. But if not, appreciate you tuning in, bro. Massively appreciate it as always. Yeah, Poch. I mean, excited. I guess yes, because we have to be. In terms of this season's been so low, so anything that he does next season is going to be viewed as a success, really, because this season's been so dire. So I think whilst, you know, we do have to be patient with him, there will be an expectation that he does need to finish minimum in the top 6. Like, we have to be in the top 6 next season. Like,
1 game a week as well.
1 game a week. And like, yes, it's massively disappointing that we're only going to be playing once a week next season. But I actually feel that it could be beneficial to us massively. I'm not saying we're going to go and win the league like after 15-16, but I think playing once a week is going to be massive because we've got a squad with so many new players, new manager, new style of play, new way of doing things. Having all that extra time on the training ground, having a week to prepare for pretty much every game, that's going to be vital in getting his ideas across, forming that identity, getting chemistry between the players and stuff. And I think next season will be a lot better. I mean, it can't be much worse than this season. But at the same time, you know, like, I'm sure Pochettino's not stupid. He'll be under no illusions that we need European football next season, minimum top 6. I mean, next season, top 5 gets Champions League. So I'm not saying we're going to get Champions League next season, but that has
top 5 gets you Champions League.
What? Yeah, because they're changing the format of the Champions League from the following season. So next season, top 5 gets Champions League in the Prem. So there's an extra space there. And actually, do you know what? That could really help us because the Prem's not like it used to be, where you could pretty much name the top 4 every single season. It was the same 4 teams. You've got literally about 7 or 8 teams that could finish in that top 4: Liverpool, City, United, Newcastle, Arsenal, Spurs, us. That's 7. Maybe I'm forgetting someone else, but yeah,
Brighton and Villa, I guess, as well.
Yeah, mate. There's about 6. There's 6 teams that can finish in the top 4. So that is massively more. It's so much more difficult to get into the Premier League, into the Champions League now, through the league. So even if we were to play Europa League, even if we were to come 6th, whatever, and have Europa League football for the following season, I mean, yes, it wouldn't be ideal, but it's a massive improvement on this season. I think we just got to take small steps, and we've got to be patient with him. That is the key, because we always go on about patience, and football fans, be like the least patient people going, but we have to get behind Pochettino. Like there's no other way about it. And like obviously everyone's gonna support a manager in different ways. Everyone's gonna have their own opinions. I will always support someone until it's impossible to stop supporting them. So we've got to get behind Poch. We're in a difficult situation. This is a boost that we need, and I think it could be exciting, mate. Do you think this is a good fit though, as well? Because out of the names that we were linked with, I guess you look at Nagelsmann, Enrique, etc. Do you think for me, mate, he ticks a lot of boxes that the owners are looking for? I mean, yes, there's always going to be flaws. Yes, he's not got an extensive trophy-laden CV and whatnot, but I mean, he had one less trophy. He's got one less trophy than Tuchel did before he joined Chelsea. Tuchel had a German Cup with Dortmund. That's the only difference between the two in terms of trophies with prior to joining Chelsea. So, I think he can be good. And, people need to realise that success is not black and white. It's not like you win trophies, you're successful. You don't win trophies, you're not successful. Success is different on different scales. And I think, look at the work that Pochettino did at Southampton. Phenomenal. Yes, the work at Tottenham, he didn't win anything. But Tottenham haven't won anything since, 2008 or something like that, League Cup. So to say that he wasn't a success at Tottenham because he didn't win anything is a nonsense. Of course, he was an absolute success there. And you only have to look at the Spurs fan base still wanting him back, and they still they've been chanting his names at certain games this season. Like, that doesn't happen to many managers if you're not good and you've not done a good job there. So, mate, how do you see him fitting in?
Yeah, I think he'll definitely fit in as well. I think he'll have to earn some of the trust from fans, I think, to start off with initially, because obviously there's going to be that sort of Tottenham-Chelsea rivalry that there is with some Chelsea fans maybe not being happy about it, which is understandable, I guess, in a way. But at the same time, like, I think it would just depends how you see Tottenham, to be honest, because I've said before, my closest rivals are Arsenal, not Tottenham for me, because Tottenham don't win anything. We obviously win stuff. We're successful, they're not. So why would we call them our rivals? So it's just one of them where I definitely think he'll fit in with the age of the players we got as well, like the Mudryks, the Maduekis, the, I guess, Havertz, the Felixes as well, and maybe incoming players as well that come in. Enzo Fernandez is another one, obviously that Argentinian sort of like connection as well. So I mean, it all sounds exciting at the moment and stuff, but obviously there's obviously that wait and see sort of thing. He has to produce results at the same time, as well as sort of us buying into this sort of project as well. So yeah, I do think he could fit in, implement a style of play that will sort of help us move forward within the season. Who knows, might end up winning us the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup next season as well, especially with the squad that we've got.
We've got to take a serious run at those cups as well next season. I mean, I think we're always pretty serious in them anyway, but there's no excuse in League Cup games now not to go full strength and actually take that competition seriously. Just get a trophy on the board again. Like,
and build some confidence in. Yeah,
people dismiss the League Cup, but actually, like, it's a half decent trophy to win. You don't have to win that many games to do it, and it's the first trophy available, and it just breeds that winning feeling again. We just need to get another trophy on the board as quickly as possible, and that represents the first chance and probably the easiest chance. So, the domestic cups have got to be taken seriously next season. They simply have to be. Guys, I will get to some bits in the chat in a sec. Don't worry, I'm not ignoring it. Let's get to this, mate. Rob Draper, I think in the mail. Chelsea are working with Pochettino on recruitment with Lautaro Martinez, Declan Rice, Emiliano Martinez, and Alexis McAllister, all targets. What do you think of those targets, mate? Because obviously we need it. We're in for a forward. Quite ironic that Lukaku and Martinez have both scored tonight. For Inter. Martinez. I mean, could we have Martinez and Lukaku at Chelsea next season?
That's what I was.
That would be kind of mad. But I mean, Declan Rice again. We're going to face competition from the likes of Arsenal and many other clubs for him. Martinez, an interesting choice in goal. Is it an upgrade on Kepa and Mendy?
I think so.
Probably, it probably is slightly, I would say. But at the same time, is it the world-class goalkeeper we're looking for? I'm not sure. But then is he better than Onana, the other keeper that we've been quite strongly linked with? I don't really know. I mean, before we get onto the other targets, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think Martinez is better than Onana? I mean, who would you rather have out the two? Because I don't know if there's an awful lot in it.
I personally take Martinez over Onana just because I've sort of watched him more. Obviously, playing in the Prem and stuff, he's Premier League proven as well. Obviously, we'll have to sort of adapt. Onana would have to adapt to playing at the back from the pressing side of things as well, because obviously in Serie A, they don't press as well as the Premier League, and I think Martinez can play at the back, but not as well to like say Ramsdale, Edison, or Alisson, for example. But yeah, it's just one of them where I think the targets are really interesting. Obviously with Lautaro Martinez, the Argentinian links, obviously, and also with Lukaku coming back as well, that is really interesting. I don't know if I'm too keen of Lautaro, if I'm being honest with you.
I don't really know enough. I don't know enough about him.
He wasn't that good in the World Cup, I thought.
No, obviously, but I don't think we can write him off based on a World Cup. But I don't know. I look at his that profile of forward, and is that a profile of forward that would work at Chelsea?
You've got Felix and Nkunku as well. I mean
Felix might not stay, but I mean, I don't know with Martinez. Obviously, he's a good player, and ultimately, like regardless of what we think, if Pochettino wants Lautaro Martinez and thinks he's the right fit for his Chelsea, then we have to give him what he wants, or do the best we can to give him what he wants. There's no point kind of kicking up a fuss about it. If Poch wants Martinez, fine. I'm on board with Martinez. Maybe I can have my doubts and whatnot about it, but ultimately we've got to put our trust in him, because if we start scrutinizing every decision and saying that's a shit sign, we shouldn't be doing this, we shouldn't be doing that, that's when things start quickly spiraling and can become toxic, and then just it becomes a bit of a mess. I think we just got to back Poch and give him what he wants, and the owners have shown that they're prepared to get the checkbook out, spend money, bring players in. So, you know, if this is what Poch wants, then if we can give him those four players, let's do the best we can to deliver those targets for him.
Sorry, also as well, McAllister's an interesting one, because I've always sort of seen him as a Kovacic replacement, and obviously we'll get into the game later on and stuff, but Kovacic I think he's definitely going to leave, I think, end of the season. I think he'll be a perfect replacement for him.
Depending on what the injury news is on him, I haven't seen any updates. That could be the last time we see Kova in a Chelsea shirt today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, just deep that. Yeah, I forgot you got injured. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, Alexis McAllister will be, I think, a great replacement for Kovacic.
Be a lot of money, though, isn't he?
Yeah. How much would he cost, do you think?
60, maybe.
60 is a weird number, because it's not... Yeah, 60 is actually such a weird number, because it's kind of in that range of like, oh, okay, it's not too bad, but then it's like, oh, it's closer to 70 in a way. So, yeah, 60 is a weird number. In terms of like,
we're going to face competition from Liverpool though as well, and I guess it depends how much first team football does McAllister want to play. Like at Liverpool, I think he would play virtually every week given their midfield situation.
For us, I think Europe's a big thing as well for McAllister as well.
But again, I think with players though, like I honestly feel, mate, that this is not going to be a prolonged period of absence from Europe's top table.
I
think it'll just be a one season absence, and then we'll be back. So I think McAllister's at an age where he can play. He can afford to miss one season out of the Champions League and help us get back in there. Does he want to play with Enzo Fernandez? Are the Argentinian links gonna help? Obviously, London. No disrespect to Liverpool, but London's a lot nicer than Liverpool is. It's a better lifestyle certainly for players and their respective partners as well, and all that sort of thing. And that is potentially something that might come into it. But yeah, I wouldn't be against. We've seen him and Enzo playing a pivot for Argentina at the World Cup. And I think McAllister could be a good signing, but it's not the profile of midfielder we need in terms of a kind of a holding midfield player. If we were to get McAllister, we'd need to get another one alongside him. I mean, what else have we got there? It's interesting. I mean, how many midfielders do you think we're going to bring in? Obviously, it's going to be very dependent on who goes out. Sorry.
Yeah.
But if two go out, say Cover and Gallagher go, or Cover and Ruben go, or whatever, then I suppose there's room for two more to come in.
Yeah, I mean, if we're being really optimistic and realistic, we need about three, I think, in all seriousness, to be fair. For me, the three would be Lavia, Caicedo, and see, the last one's tough because I want to say Declan Rice, but I'm kind of torn between him and Ugarte or Palhinha, one of the three.
Thing is, we need the thing with those with like the Lavias and your Ugartes and stuff. Like, it's gonna if we're going for a younger midfielder, it can't be Lavia and Ugarte. It's got to be one of the two. It'll have to be one of the two with a more experienced player alongside him. To be honest, mate, with the fact that Southampton relegation confirmed today, Lavia would probably be available for 40, 50 million quid, maybe. Well, probably more like 40 or 45 or something like that.
What price?
No, not good. No, not good enough, mate. That's not moving the needle for us in midfield at all. In my opinion. And there's a reason he spent his whole career at Southampton. Like, not good enough. Yeah, he can do some set pieces and stuff. PG, I disagree with this one, mate. I'm sorry. Mendy doesn't need more time. He's not good enough. He massively outperformed himself in that run when he won Champions League, Club World Cup, obviously AFCON with Senegal and all that. But the decline's been massive, and like we're not going to win big trophies again with Mendy in goal.
Sadly, yeah, sad but true, yeah.
Yeah, but this save percentage thing, like, is well.
It's not a good stat.
It's difficult because you look at it and it doesn't take into account what sort of saves they were. If there's just been a load of shots at you that just roll to you and you just pick it up, then it's like when you get pass completion stats. I completed 100 passes, 100 out of 100, but all your passes were 2 yards to your left, 2 yards to your right.
Like Jorginho in his first season.
It kind of lacks a little bit of context. Like, it's a useful stat, but it massively lacks context.
Very misleading
in the situation. I mean, mate, who would like? Who would be your ideals coming in then in the summer out of a goalkeeper, one goalkeeper, one midfielder, one centre forward? What would be your dream?
Oh, good question. Anyone I want? Or...
Well, no, out of the realistic targets that we've kind of been linked with.
Yeah. I actually put a tweet out on this. I think I retweeted this, but yeah, I'm just trying to find out. Yeah, so I've put down. So I've put Ter Stegen as my ideal choice as a goalkeeper, and I put Lavia and I put Ivan Toney as my sort of three signings that I want this summer as sort of priority. But also there's room for potentially João Palhinha, as I mentioned as well. Has had a really good season with Fulham.
I think that's definitely one to look out for.
I think we could definitely try and sway him away from Fulham to us. Caicedo would be amazing for us, I think, as well.
Yeah, it would be that would be great.
Caicedo would be amazing. See, I'm on the fence about Rafinha. I'm not sure about Rafinha.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's going to actually happen.
Do you know what one name, that nobody's been mentioned at all that I'll be kind of on board with is Kulusevski. I don't know how you feel about that, Charlie, or the chat as well.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Would he leave Spurs? I don't really know. I mean, I'm not sure.
Fabrizio put out something yesterday, didn't he, about there's a chance he could leave.
Chance he could leave, but again, how likely are Spurs to sell to us? That's the problem.
But isn't he contracted with Juve still? Because
I think they can just activate that clause because he's obviously played enough games or something. It was a loan, but it becomes permanent after playing a certain amount of games or something.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah. Rice. Rice.
I'm 50-50 up Rice as well, man. I don't know.
I honestly think Rice is the best holding midfield player in the league. Him and Rodri. Yeah, mate. I think honestly, mate, I think he's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, like don't get me wrong. I'll be happy if Rice comes in. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a quality player. I just don't know. Like, I think the price just putting me off a bit for Declan Rice. There's
Well,
obviously talks
but
of 120 million for him.
No, mate, they're never going to get that from him. He's got 1 year left on his contract in the summer. There's no chance of getting 120 million for him. They'll get 80 million for him, I reckon. Plus,
yeah, I think that's the only thing that's putting me off is the price. I think other than that, the play itself, like what a player Declan Rice is, like his quality and stuff. But yeah, I think it's just the price for me. That's sort of putting me off it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, people saying Rice and Agate. McAllister at Brighton plays alongside Caicedo in a pivot. Yeah, McAllister can be a pivot player. I mean, him and Enzo was the World Cup winning pivot. So, I mean, I don't know if we're trying to build that back together again. I mean, can we really go back to Brighton and raid more players? Maybe
Caicedo's probably the only one that's, I think, worth raiding out of everyone. I think McAllister's probably second on that list. I think Caicedo is definitely number one. I think.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get Caicedo, like if Caicedo was doable, I'd definitely do it.
What about here's another name that's sort of come to a couple of names actually that come to my mind that want to get your sort of thoughts on in the chat as well. Gundogan or João Cancelo, either one of them, would you take them at Chelsea?
I don't think we need João Cancelo. What do we need him for? Because we've got Reece James and Malagusto.
For the left side, maybe.
No, because we've still got Chile and Cucurella. Like, I mean, if Cucurella left for whatever reason, then maybe. But yeah, what was the other one? Sorry,
Gundogan.
Gundogan would be good, mate. I would probably take Gundogan on a free transfer.
I would definitely.
I certainly would. But again, I don't think that's something that Chelsea would look at doing. And I think if a team like Barcelona wanted him on a free, if he had set his mind on leaving City, I'm not sure if he would stay in England or not. I don't really know, but I would certainly take him on a free. Absolutely.
Dare I say Harry Kane as well?
Mate, Harry Kane would be. Look, Harry Kane is. There's obviously going to be the links there because Pochettino's at Chelsea. Kane loved working with Poch. There's no denying that. But I just look at it and I just think how practically possible is a deal for Harry Kane to Chelsea. I do think it's virtually. I don't want to say it's impossible, but I think it is bordering on impossible to get Harry Kane to Chelsea because it's going to be pretty tough to get him out of Spurs anyway. And then they're going to be desperate not to sell him to a rival. But ultimately, like if Kane was desperately wanting to join Chelsea and work with Pochettino again, I don't know how much choice they would have.
London as well, obviously. I think he wants to stay in London as well. So
yeah,
I think that'd be a big factor for us.
To be fair, mate, in the Premier League, the only place he can go is United, really. I think that if he was going to leave and he was happy to go to Spurs, would much rather sell to United than sell to us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I just think with Pochettino being back, obviously coming back to London as well, I think there's more of a chance for us. But
there's definitely more of a chance than there would have been if Poch wasn't manager.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I still that definitely improves our chances, but those chances are still pretty low.
I mean, you never know. I mean, like we didn't think Enzo Fernandez was coming to us, and look.
No, we didn't. I mean, this would be quite something. I would definitely, mate. I would go and get a Chelsea shirt with Kane on the back, no problem. Imagine rocking up to Spurs away next season with Kane with a Harry Kane shirt on your back and Mauricio Pochettino as gaffer.
Bro, you're definitely the bodyguard, man.
Mate, you'd be in trouble, mate. Honestly, it would be unmissable if that scenario was in place. Let me get to a few bits in the chat quickly. Brighton will find a better replacement. Yeah, they probably will. They probably already got one on their books somewhere that they've discovered. I mean, that Enciso is pretty saucy as well. Bad move for Poch. Chelsea scored overpriced, overhyped, and struggled to get into top 6 next season. I wouldn't feel sorry for him. It's a great job. It's very attractive, and there's a lot of scope for him to work with. And it's a really exciting. Yes, we're massively underperforming, but it's a really exciting crop of players to work with that I think most managers in world football would be happy to work with. There's some unbelievable talent on show in that squad. Yeah, it's going to take him a bit of time, some patience is going to be required, but we can. I really do think he can be a success here, but it might not happen instantly. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I think Chelsea under Poch can be really exciting and could be a force to be reckoned with again over the next few years. Yeah. There's not exact such as that. You end up paying high. So, yeah, okay. I'd take Hakan. What Çalhanoğlu? No, Çalhanoğlu won't leave Inter. Kane will go for free, I reckon, in 2024. Yeah, I think that could be the most
I don't
likely.
think so, man.
You think they're going to get rid of him this summer? I mean,
They have
Levy, to be fair, Levy loves money. He does.
Exactly. Yeah.
Levy loves money. Levy's all about the money. Like, he's not going to let Harry Kane leave for a free.
No chance. I'll be very surprised, man.
I wonder if a compromise could potentially be reached where Levy's like, look, just give us one more season with a new manager, see what it's like, and then we'll let you go. We'll let you go at the end of the season with your contract. But I wonder if they already did that with Man City anyway. Just give us another season, or whatever. Yeah. Or whatever. I don't know, but Kane needs to leave Tottenham. But I still don't 100% know if he will. About Enciso, I've seen a tweet that he's pretty much skyrocketed every single. Yeah, mate. Enciso's had quite a few shots since that Chelsea worldie, and none of them have been anywhere near. I don't think there's too much more to add on. Poch obviously is going to sign a 3-year contract. We're back, new era. It's finally done. And that's the most important thing, is that now we can kind of the next manager is in place. We can put that to bed. We can stop talking about it, and now the work begins. Mate, do you think he'll be in the stands for any of the last 3 games?
I think he'll be there for Newcastle at home, but I don't think.
I'm not sure. I don't know if he makes a trip for any of those Manchester games.
Nah, he wouldn't. Nah, but I think the last game of the season he'll be there for sure. I think. But yeah, I mean, you never know. I don't know. He might fancy a trip to Manchester, a decent city. So,
yeah, you never know. You never know. Well, he might do, but yeah, it's a massive relief. Do you think it can provide a boost for the final 3 games? Do you think now that the performance levels might improve, players will be like thinking, shit, the new gaffers, and we're kind of playing for our futures, a lot of them. Do you think we could see an improvement in performances? I mean, it wouldn't take much to improve the performances. You'd like to think it would have a positive impact.
Well, I hope so, because these players need a rocket up their arse, man, to sort of like win the last 3 games, man. Because I think a few of them are probably thinking, oh, okay, Poch is coming in next season. I would really want to perform for him, get him under like sort of his good books in a way. But at the same time, there could be players that are like, oh god, it's Poch. I don't play for Poch. I'll just perform badly. So I guess there's 2 sides to it in a way. But I think it'll have some impact, and I think some sort of clarity and closure in a way where a lot of players and a lot of fans were sort of like doubting the system in terms of how long is this new manager going to take to be announced, basically. So yeah, it's a weird one.
I mean, mate, how long do you think it's going to take Poch to get us kind of ticking and playing the way that he wants? Do you think we can see big improvements next season? I would probably suggest that the second season is where we're going to really see the fruit of his work come home. I think this next season there'll be improvements, but I definitely don't think it will be like the finished kind of Pochettino at Chelsea article. I mean, how long do you think it's going to take him to get everything firing?
Yeah, I think it all depends. I think the key sort of ingredients for that, I think, is the summer and the January transfer windows that he has. Obviously going into this summer and then January next year. I think those will play a part massively, because we're going to have to recruit for Poch, like with the players that he wants, because there might be players that he doesn't fancy in the team, with obviously what we've brought in January and the summer. So I think those two windows are going to be crucial for the amount of time we sort of see Poch implement his ideas. So yeah, I'd probably agree with you, mate. Probably second season, I think we'll start to see the real sort of Pochettino board. But I definitely think there'll be some sort of improvement in terms of tactical positioning, style of play in the first season. I think we'll see like a trailer of what we can expect from Poch, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think so. Newcastle and New Chelsea. Chelsea's 15-year lottery period is done now. Back to you. Nah. We'll be back, mate. The Kings of London, the Pride of London will be back. I don't know when it's going to be, but we're coming back to the top table in the next couple of seasons. We will be back. We've had our season off. We've had our year down in the dumps, and now we're coming back to fight with the big.
Give everyone a chance. This is what it is. Like we've carried London on our backs for ages. Like
exactly. Look, I'm under no illusions that it's gonna take time, and it's gonna be mate, there'll be some shit games on the Poch next season. No doubt about it. But you know full well what the first game of the season is going to be next season. It will somehow be Chelsea Spurs.
Oh, I hope so, man. I hope so. Honestly, it'll be written in the stars for that.
It would be brilliant.
Can we do a starting 11 of what we think Poch would put out potentially?
Yeah, mate, we can do. I mean, I might do it in a separate stream when a few more signings have been done, because we haven't really got any at the moment. But mate, there's definitely a few. Mate, the lineup could be very interesting for sure. What we got here? Will there be a stream about the Stamford Bridge redevelopment plans? I don't know. Maybe if there's a bit more. Relegated more times than we've won the league. Well, I don't think so, mate. No, I don't think we've been relegated more than 5 times. We've got 5 Premier League titles. I'm pretty certain we've not been relegated 5 times. I mean, I could be wrong. That's obvious. That would be well before my time, some sort of 1940s shit. But yeah, I don't know. What's this? Pulisic kicking a fan? Well, I haven't heard any of that.
Wait, is that a fan or is that a electrical fan or something like that?
No, Pulisic kicking a fan. I haven't seen any of that.
That's probably clickbait, man. That's probably some minor thing. You probably just accidentally like trotted on someone whilst walking. I don't know.
Oh no, Christian Pulisic accused of kicking. Oh, what's this? I'm going to bring it up now. Let's bring this up now, mate. We might as well discuss this now.
Wait, that's legit,
mate. That's kind of mad. Let me find it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it there. So apparently, oh fuck, yeah. Christian Pulisic accused of kicking young children out the way who asked for a picture, also saying "move out his way."
Wow.
Please read. This isn't what I usually post, but I don't want it to go unnoticed. Pulisic is an absolute pig, ignoring little children screaming and running from their families to ask for a picture with you. They ran past me and their heads didn't reach past my knee. Anyway, they were no older than 5 or 6 years old. This pig pushed and kicked these young children out of his way, shouting at them to move out of his way, including him nearly kicking a young child in the head, scrambling away from these young fans into his car, and his family didn't say a thing. Blatantly ignored us and acted like we weren't there. And when my dad asked him for a picture with me, he simply said, no, not now. And he simply ran off. But kicking and pushing children no older than the age of 5 or 6 is not okay. I hope this whore never pulls on a Chelsea shirt ever again. Can't bear to think of how those young children must feel right now. Disgusting behaviour. I mean, there's obviously 2 sides to every story. But mate, that doesn't paint Pulisic in a particularly good light, does it?
No, not at all. Especially with obviously this being like an alleged rumor, that's going to be another thing that sort of goes against it. With obviously the book stuff coming out as well, isn't it? About a season ago. But yeah, I mean, if it is true, then yeah, that's honestly disgusting from him. Like, you shouldn't be doing that, especially when you're getting that paid that amount as well. And sort of the face of like the American fan base for us as well, because like he obviously brings in a lot of American revenue in terms of like shirt sales and fans as well. So to be sort of that role model to say like young American kids is really bad, because they deserve better. So yeah, if true, then yeah, should get a fine. Should sort of terminate his contract, I think, as well. If it is obviously as it is described. But
I mean, it's such a topical thing at the moment as well, with obviously the Leeds fans, the Arsenal players that were signing that shirt for that girl and just like ignoring her. Like, it's such a topical thing, and like I fully get it. You know, like sometimes it's not always an appropriate time for pictures. Like, I think like, you know, people are aware of that, but you know, it takes 2 seconds to take a photo of someone, and players and like clubs and players without the fans are nothing. So, I mean, for me, unless I couldn't do it or whatever, then I would always stop for pictures. Like, you've got to stay humble. You've got to remember where you came from. Like, that would have been you not long ago, like asking for photos with players that you idolized and stuff. And it's just really distasteful. I mean, obviously, I don't know his side of the story, but I wouldn't completely rule out someone making that up. But at the same time, there's obviously there must be some truth towards it. It's just really poor. You know, you should always make time for the fans. It's as simple as that. And if you can't make time for the fans, at least be nice about it. Just say, look, sorry, I'm really busy. I've got to go, or whatever it is. And that's like, all right, it's annoying, but that's cool. At least you've dealt with that situation. Like that's such a shit way of dealing with things. I mean,
I think Chelsea needs to release a statement as well soon. Obviously, to either mop this up or address it properly, just so that there's clarity on what's going on instead of leaving it solved.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a matter that the club would get involved with. Maybe I'm not really sure.
I think they have to. I think they're forced to, because obviously that puts a bad name to obviously the club as well, and yeah, obviously the poor little sort of children that got. Did they get hurt from it, or was it just?
No, I don't think that. No, they're not been hurt. I don't think. It's just poor, mate. Do you think Pulisic's done at Chelsea? Do you think we'll see him play again in a Chelsea shirt these last 3 games? I wouldn't have thought so.
Nah, I'm actually surprised that Lampard hasn't sort of picked him, because he was sort of a go-to player for him, wasn't he? But
he was a bit, wasn't he? Yeah, no, he did like using him. He likes using him. I don't know. Man, I don't really know either, to be honest.
It's a shame. I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
The thing is, he's still really young, but he's just not. He just hasn't kicked on. You know, he's had a few moments, and the fact that we still revert to lockdown Pulisic as his best form at Chelsea just kind of goes to show how his career has gone since. And we paid 60 odd million quid for him, and yeah, it's just not really worked out. I mean, I don't really know where he's going to go next season. But yeah, it is what it is.
I have no idea either.
Let's go back to some good news. Obviously, we had the news yesterday from Matt Law's article saying that if Thiago Silva wanted to go back to Fluminense in Brazil, then the club wouldn't stand in his way. That kind of turned out to be total rubbish, really. Belle Silva, who me and the boys saw after the game today, little Thiago Silva chant down the road, class as always. She basically then took to her Instagram and confirmed that they would be staying at the club next season. I mean, mate, what did you make of that story that came out yesterday? Because it sort of just kind of come from, I don't want to say come from nowhere, but it almost feels like it just sort of came out the blue, didn't it? No one was expecting it. It wasn't really, it was like much of it. It wasn't really a story. It was more like, you know, yeah, if they were going to, if Chelsea wanted, wouldn't stand in Thiago Silva's way if he wanted to go to Fluminense. But I mean, he was subsequently said afterwards that, like, you know, he just no idea where those rumors or reports had even come from, that he had a meeting with the Fluminense president. It just wasn't true. What do you make of all that? Because it's a bit strange, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, I think because obviously we're coming to the end of the season now, and obviously a lot of people, journalists are probably thinking, oh, was Thiago Silva going to stay with the manager not being announced yet? Obviously with Tuchel being sacked and stuff. So I think it's just a coincidence sort of story where the journalists are like, oh, it's the end of the season. Let's just see if we can like sort of stir some drama basically for the end of the season, and cause the Chelsea fan base to panic. So. Yeah, I mean, if that is all done and buried, then nice. Obviously, Thiago Silva's been a shining light for this season. Obviously, we'd love to keep him under Pochettino as well. I think he'll be a real leader for us, as he always is. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's a story of like coincidence and convenience for journalists, because it's the end of the season. You hear all kinds of things this time of year.
Mate, you absolutely do. It's. Yeah, I mean, the main thing is he's staying. I mean, the banner was great today.
Yeah, the banner was class, man.
The banner was class, really great banner. So he massively appreciated that.
You get to touch it, yeah?
Did I touch it? Yeah, I think I did actually, because not the Brazil one, because that was down the other end, but the other one, mate, you know, just sat under it.
You've given his blessing then, yeah?
Any links for fans to join and have their say? That is something I will do. I might even run it. I might even run it tomorrow. I will start doing some call-in shows. If enough people are interested in a call-in show, then let me know. What I'll do is let me change the poll in the chat. And if enough people are interested in a call-in show, then I will start running a few call-in shows so that fans and subscribers can obviously voice their opinions. So yeah, guys, if you're interested in that, do let me know. Mate, let's move it forward to the game then. What were your thoughts? Let's start with the lineup. Obviously, no Mudryk, replaced by Raheem Sterling. Kante. Actually, let's start with the Kante news. Done his groin in training yesterday, out for the remainder of the season. Thoughts on that? Kind of just typical, isn't it, really?
I'm not surprised. This is why I was sort of like hesitant and worried about offering him a new contract, because I'm not doubting N'Golo Kante as a player. I mean, he's probably arguably the only world class player we have alongside Thiago Silva, and probably Reece as well. But yeah, I mean, injuries was always the thing I was worried about. And I mean, if we're going to sign him up to what is it, 300K a week? Or
no, it wasn't that much. He'd have to take a pay cut from what he's on.
Oh, okay, yeah, but anyway, obviously with extending the contract and stuff, that was my main sort of worry about him getting injured. And obviously he's got injured now, and we don't know how far this will set him back in the future. I mean, I guess in a way, like at least the season's over after. I mean, nothing to play for. We don't know.
No, but I mean, this is my thing with Kante is right. Absolutely phenomenal player. We know that, but the problem we've got is how many games in a season is he realistically going to be available for? We look at 38 games in a season. Mate, we'd be lucky to get 15 games from him as things stand at the moment. Now, are those 15 games of Kante performance worth extending and keeping him around? If we had Champions League, I'd be like, absolutely yes, for sure. But we just know that he's gonna pick up injuries here and there and miss a handful of weeks every so often. And can we really afford that? I mean, I'd love him to stay, but I just feel that we're just going to be having a player that's going to spend more time on the treatment table than is going to have time on the pitch. I don't know. I'm a bit torn on it.
Same, I am as well. It's obviously with what is it? Is it 2+1 birthing, or is it 3+1?
I'll be honest, mate. I don't know what it is.
Oh, first, yeah, but obviously if Caicedo is there, he's the perfect replacement for Kante. I mean, like he's literally he's a Kante regen, Caicedo. So if we somehow get him in, then I literally wouldn't be bothered if Kante left or stayed. To be honest,
do you worry that if Kante did leave, that we're going to be down a lot of experience in midfield?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the other side of things as well, because obviously it's quite evident that Kovacic will leave at the end of the season. Jorginho is obviously not here, and our midfield right now, Kante is the most experienced in our midfield along Ruben Loftus-Cheek, isn't it? So yeah, we'll definitely lose a lot of experience, which we do need to keep in a way, especially for Pochettino as well. Kante, I guess, is one of the leaders. I mean, on the pitch, I guess you probably wouldn't associate him as a leader, but at the same time, he's our most experienced as well. So, and captained us a few times as well. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it would be a shame, and it's just annoying because he actually managed to stay fit for about 4 or 5 games in a row.
We barely played though. It was one game a week, wasn't it?
Playing some really good stuff, and then he's picked up another injury. I just feel at this stage in his career, Kante is going to be one of them guys that is just always going to pick up little injuries here and there now, and there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. You guys are hyping up Potter similar to Poch. Now you enjoy our downfall. There's 3 more games of our downfall left, and then we're going to be on the way back up. So everyone can enjoy that now. Whilst we're down in the dumps. Yeah, mate. I'm. By the way, guys, do vote in the poll if you'd be interested in calling shows. I will obviously, if you are, then I will run a few of those. But I don't want to run it if only like 2 or 3 people are going to actually turn up. So yeah, do vote in the poll. As for Poch, it isn't everyone's first choice, but it's the best option there. As for next season, yeah, I agree. Look, I'll be real. Right at the start, he wasn't really in my thinking. I was fully on board. And I was training as the process developed, as candidates dropped out and whatnot, I kind of got a bit more on board with Poch. And actually, out of what's available, I actually think it's a really smart appointment for the club, and it's going to be could be the right guy going forward. Is he going to be the guy that wins us the Premier League again? I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not really sure. Would you take Alvarez from City for swap deal for Cover? Yeah, probably, but that's never going to happen. So yes, but that's obviously not going to happen. Mate, anyway, back to the starting lineup. Obviously, we had Sterling in for Mudryk. We had Cover coming in for the injured Kante, and we had Chalobah No, Chalobah. We had Lewis Hall, coming in at left back for the injured Chilwell. What were your thoughts on the lineup? I'll be honest, I actually didn't mind it that much. Other than Mudryk, I felt should have been playing. I didn't have too many issues with that team. I mean, what were your thoughts on it? Is there anything you would have liked to have seen different?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Mudryk was the only one that I sort of wanted to see starting again for us, because it's just frustrating that we can't really judge him, because a lot of people writing off already from like cameo performances where we haven't really seen Mudryk perform properly. So yeah, that was only surprising. I mean, Raheem Sterling got 2 goals today, but I didn't
First
think
half he was shocking.
Yeah, it was awful. Second half. Second half, he did. It looked like the two-core Sterling in a way, where the first couple of games
he was much better. But like we've seen with Sterling, we've seen what you can do in that second half performance. You're on big money. You're on main man money.
Players, isn't it?
Yeah, you're on main man money putting in side man performances. Like we've seen what you can do. Like that needs to be replicated on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, because that is there. That the ability is there. You've got that in locker. You've proven that you can do that. That needs to be seen bi-weekly or weekly. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like we all know what Sterling is capable of. Like that second goal that he took, it's just vintage Sterling. Like we've seen him do that for Liverpool so many times.
Sit a defender down, cut in, and
bang. That's it. He used to do that so much for City, and we know he can do it. It's just he just doesn't bloody do it.
No, he just doesn't do it
for us. So yeah, it is frustrating. But other than that, I think the lineup was I mean, I didn't really want to see Conor Gallagher play, but at the same time, like
Bournemouth, after his performance at Bournemouth last week, he probably deserved to start.
Yeah, I guess shout out to Ruben as well. Ruben did. I thought he was really, really good off the bench actually when he came on.
He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. I mean, he got the assist for the second goal. He was all right. He was all right.
Kovacic though, man. I don't know about you, but I thought he was shocking again today, man. Just it's a shame, man. Honestly.
Mate, let's talk about the big selection choice, by the way, today. Mendy in goal. Obviously, we'll get into it in the. Actually, I'll just bring the ratings up now. Let's just get into the ratings now. Fuck it. By the way, guys, make sure you get involved in the chat with your player ratings. Also, please keep smashing the likes on the stream. We're well past 20 now. Let's get this up to 30, guys. We're on 23 likes. We can easily get this to 30. There's plenty of us in here to do that. So smash a like on the stream, get us up to 30. And most importantly as well, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, guys. If you're new in the chat and you haven't subscribed, please press the subscribe button. It's free. It takes you seconds and it massively, massively helps me out. I want about 89 subscribers now to 3K. So every new subscriber helps. So please do that, people. Mate, massively surprised today. Are you surprised that Mendy got the nodding goal today? I mean, I don't think anyone was expecting that.
I was gonna say, I was like, "Who's player one?" Like,
yeah, I was like, I was in such a shock.
Player one play.
I missed him off.
No, but I was very surprised that Mendy came back today. Was it his first game since November, I believe?
Yeah, mate, it would have been one of the games before the World Cup because Kepa was injured, wasn't he? So
yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that he came in. I need to see the goal again, to be honest. The first one, like, I just need to see it again. I mean, like, initially I was like, "Whoa, Mendy, what the hell are you doing?" But at the same time, Silva and Badiashile didn't cover themselves in glory for that.
I mean, it was a mess from all three of them. But
all three of them,
I'm still thinking a goal, and I still think as a goalkeeper, that's your
commanding there, a commanding goalkeeper.
That's your situation to command.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, apart from that big mistake, did he do anything wrong? I don't think so.
The second goal wasn't great from him either.
What do you think you could have done better for the second goal?
I think as a collective, probably everyone could have done better.
Yeah, I see. I sort of blame the defense more for the second goal than the first goal, in my opinion. But
it just looks nervy. I mean, I know he's not played for a while, but like the defense looked nervy as well a little bit today. Because obviously, Mendy's not played since November. These guys have not played with Mendy behind them since November. I think that'll be the first time Badiashile's ever played with Mendy behind him.
Exactly,
So it's going to be hard to strike up that chemistry and those partnerships. And I just feel that everything was a little bit shaky. Mendy just makes me feel nervous.
Yeah, that is true as well. I mean, like, I suppose, like, the only time I sort of feel calm when Mendy's around is from corners and set pieces. But funny enough, he messed up on the first goal, but usually he's quite good with those. Like I think that's one of his biggest strengths is corners and set pieces. He rarely drops the ball, or not from what I remember. Like he's quite commanding in that sense. But obviously when he messes up like that once, like you're gonna doubt him in a way. But I definitely think we need a goalkeeper for next season because
100%, mate.
100% need a goalkeeper for next season because Mendy and Kepa are just not Chelsea level. But if I was to give Mendy a rating, it's a tough one because
I don't know. It's tough because I don't want to be like massively harsh, but like in the key moments today, he fucked it.
I'll give him a 3.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
A 3.
Let's move to. I mean, do you think, mate? Interesting enough, do you think Mendy will? Like, what do you think happens with the keeping situation for the last 3 games?
Honestly, bro, I've no idea. I mean, was there a reason Mendy started today over Kepa? Is Kepa injured? Or
no, Kepa's not injured, mate. He was on the bench. He was doing the warm up pre-game. I think Lampard said, what did he say? He basically said something along the lines of that. You know, Mendy deserves his opportunity today because he's trained well and stuff, and we've got 2 good goalkeepers or whatever it was. What did he say? Let me just quickly find it. Frank Lampard, it is an opportunity that I think for his part is well deserved from how he's training. We've got 2 very good goalkeepers here that have played for us, and Kepa's playing really well.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not really.
I do think Mendy will start. I think he'll start the next game against City. Yeah, I think so.
It's an interesting one because I almost feel like with 4 games left, if you bring Mendy in for 1 game and then you bin him off the very next one, it kind of makes a mockery of your decision to do it in the first place. If you're going to change the goalkeeper, then you think for the remaining games, you'd probably just leave it the same.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I think he'll play against Man City next. I think he'll start, even though I actually think for this game, I think we should play Kepa for Man City away.
And there was no reason, to be honest, for me, mate, there was no reason to be changing the goalkeeper. I don't really understand why. I don't understand why Lampard's done that.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't answer that myself, to be fair. But my prediction would be Kepa. Sorry, not Kepa. Mendy starts the next game, I think.
Yeah. I probably think so as well, mate. Yeah. I'll tell you what, mate. Let's move on to a bit more of a positive. I thought Trevor Chalobah was really good today. I thought he had a very good game at right back. Right back's not his position. But I actually felt he dealt with. I mean, Forest didn't. To be honest, right? Forest, they got 2 goals, but they weren't that threatening going forward. In all honesty, there wasn't a lot of threat. You weren't sort of like thinking, "Oh shit, here they come again." But I thought Trev was decent today. I thought it was his best performance in quite a long time. I mean, how did you see it?
Yeah, for me, I think for me, man of the match for us this game. I thought he was really good in the first half. Second half, it took it even higher. I think he was progressive with the ball, which is quite surprising as a centre back playing right back. That assist for Sterling as well was good as well, making that run into the box and obviously sort of squaring it. I know it was with a bit of hope, but at the same time, like we've seen so many times, Chalobah just putting a dreadful ball into the box. But yeah, I think for me, man of the match today, and I know we've criticised him in a few of the games and stuff. People might not think he's good enough. I still think he's handy to have in the team. As sort of that,
I think he's handy as well.
He's kind of like a Ruben in a way where you can put him anywhere who'll do a job for you. And I think I think Chalobah deserves the man of the match award for me today. So I'm actually going to give him I'll probably give him a 7.
Yeah, mate, that's what I was going to say. I would give him a 7 as well. I thought it was a really good performance. I mean, it's tricky. Would you keep him in the summer? Because you look at it, we're gonna have Silva, Badiashile, Fofana, Levi Colwell coming back in. We're gonna have Koulibaly, and then we're gonna have Chalobah as well. Now, Chalobah's been playing right back, but Reece James and Malo Gusto are going to lock in that right back position is locked in. Reece James, Gusto. Obviously, injuries, maybe Chalobah would play there, but you know, if we're gonna go with a back 4, where does Chalobah fit in? Because he's not really getting in the team at centre back, is he?
Yeah, for me, I'd get rid of Koulibaly and keep Chalobah because I think Chalobah's definitely a utility player. I think he'll come in use for a lot of positions. I think Well, I don't know if Poch will. Does Poch ever play the back three or back five?
Well, I mean, Poch does both. Really. I mean, Poch predominantly at Spurs was like a 4-2-3-1 when they were doing really well. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not really sure.
I said put in the comments about a loan. I think a loan is a good shout for Chalobah. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, although mate, to be fair, if we sell Koulibaly, then to be honest, mate, I would probably rather keep Chalobah than Koulibaly because I think Chalobah's got a lot more potential to improve, whereas Koulibaly's level is not really improving; it's only going to decline now.
And you can only play centre back. You can literally play at centre back, whereas Chalobah can do. You can play at least 3 positions. I think even midfield. I think you can do a job.
We've seen him in midfield as well.
Especially, you know, we get a good draw in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Say we play League 2 or a National League or League 1 team. I think we could put Chalobah in DM. I think he'll work out for us.
Yeah, there's potential.
And that way, give whoever the DM is a rest in a way. So yeah,
mate. I think Trev is definitely worth keeping about the place.
But at the same time, what I'd like to say is at the same time, if we were to get above 40 or 50 million for him, let's just say around that price, then I'd be inclined to sell.
If someone bid 50 million for Chalobah, it'd be hard to say no to that money.
Exactly,
it really would be.
Yeah,
and I think this is the problem we've got is that like we need to raise money, but then at the same time, you're thinking, well, the guys that are going to get you the most money and be pure profit on the books are going to be academy lads or English lads.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That is the issue.
It's a dilemma, man. Yeah,
talking of academy lads, Lewis Hall, first start I think for Chelsea since fuck knows. I think
was it Man City away in the cup?
Newcastle before the last game before the World Cup.
Oh, did he start that game? I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Oh, did he start Man City in the FA Cup? I can't remember. Anyway, first start for a long time. Lewis Hall, what did you think of him today? 18 years old. I actually thought he was quite decent.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty decent. I mean, he got cooked a few times on that side, but at the same time, you can't expect that from someone who's 18. I think a loan move is definitely the best thing for him next season because, I don't know if you get
I think that's a bit harsh. I don't think he was that poor.
Yeah, so no, I'm not saying he was poor, but I think he was decent. I don't think he did anything like outstanding in a way. Like he put in a good cross for Felix, I believe, in the first half. But other than that, I think second half was a bit more solid. Yeah, he was a bit more solid second half. I'll give him that. There's a couple of times where he was a bit sloppy on the ball, I thought, first half, but that's honestly, I think that's just experience. And I mean, like he could push Cucurella for that sort of backup left back.
Yeah, we've got Chile as well, though, isn't it? That's the thing.
So I think a loan move is probably the best for him.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, what rating wise would you give him?
It's hard. I'd give him a 5, I think.
Oh, mate,
I don't know.
I'm going to give him a 5.5.
Yeah, fairs. Big up Forest Fan TV as well, man. It was a good
Forest
preview,
Fan
man.
TV in the chat, mate. You've got your point, so you can probably start that beach towel could be 3/4 rolled out for you. I don't think he was terrible today. Like it's mad because like how people see the game in a different way. Like some people thinking Hall weren't that great. I thought he was quite good today. Like obviously not amazing, but considering he's 18 years old and he's not played in the first team for a number of months now, I don't think that was that bad today. I really don't. It was probably didn't overlap. No, he got forward at times. I think it's the kid's 18. Like I think it's a little bit harsh personally.
Yeah, I mean, like he did nothing wrong, but he did nothing bad at the same time. I mean,
mate, fully rolled out at half time. Yeah, man, I couldn't believe what we were doing for that first goal. Fucking Chuckle Brothers at the back there. To me, to you,
that Awoniyi was class as well. Like Awoniyi,
he was okay, mate. It just caused us problems, and I don't really know why. We just, for whatever reason, we just couldn't really deal with a big man up front. But to be fair, for Forest, for a side that have got the worst away record in the league, like they actually acquitted themselves pretty well today. All right, you could say we gifted them a goal with that mix up at the back, and the second goal, not great, but they made the most of those opportunities, and actually they didn't collapse under the pressure. And also, I didn't see much of Danilo, mate, but I did got a very good view of Felipe in the second half. He was very good at the back, very good at the back. So fair play on that one. It just wasn't good. Fair. One me ripped Koulibaly and Aspie. Yeah, they did. I was like both fucking fixtures. I mean, we didn't even beat Forest. I mean, no disrespect to Forest, but we didn't beat. That's like two teams near the bottom. Just not beaten. Again, no points against Southampton, 2 points against Forest. We've lost to Leeds. We've got where we drew. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, mate, I was looking out for Danilo in the middle of the park. But I'll be honest, mate, I barely noticed him. I don't think he was, obviously he didn't do too much today, but he get out of town.
Brennan Johnson was dropped.
Brennan Johnson was on the bench, wasn't he? Yeah, I thought he would. I would have thought he would have been nailed on to start.
Yeah, same.
Nothing against Hall, but he should have played in midfield. Aspie at left back. I'm not sure about Aspie at left back. I'm a little bit unsure on that. I mean, we could have tried it, but I think the fact that Lewis Hall was blocked from the under-20s World Cup because he needs to play. It was because we need him for these games. That's the reality. Is that he probably had to play. We've got 6 home wins all season. Jesus, I didn't realise it was that bad. I mean, that's long. How many we've played? What? It's 19 games at home, 19 games away in it for 38. Yeah. Fuck me, we've got one more game at home. So at the moment, we're on 6 wins from 18 home games.
Here's the game for the chat and for ourselves. Name all 6.
Wow. I mean, I was at 2.
I couldn't, honestly.
I was at, actually, I think I've been at all of them. We beat
Leeds at home.
Leeds at home 1-0. We beat Crystal Palace 1-0. We beat Wolves 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
We beat Leicester 2-1. Conor Gallagher got sent off, but we just about held on there. So that's what Wolves, Leicester,
Leeds.
Palace, Leeds.
Yeah.
Wolves, Leicester, Palace, Leeds.
What's the other 2?
That's 4. The other 2, I don't know. That's really bad. What were the other 2?
I'm trying to think now. Villa? No, we didn't beat Villa.
No, mate. We got done by them.
Yeah.
Who else have we beat?
West Ham. Yeah, that's the same. We
beat West Ham. Yeah, we beat. And Bournemouth.
Oh yeah, Bournemouth, West Ham. What was the West Ham score? I can't remember.
2-1, mate. It was like a last-minute Havertz. Or it might have been a last-minute Chilwell. It was a 2-1 in September time.
Oh my god,
Jesus,
I can't remember, man.
6 wins from. Fuck me, we're 6 wins from 18 at home this season. I didn't realise it was. Fuck me, that's bad, isn't it? Anyway, mate, let's get back to the ratings. Thiago Silva.
That was
fun. Thoughts on him today? Obviously, a little bit at fault in that mix-up with himself, Badiashile, and Mendy. But other than that, I thought he was his usual good self. Not like his top level of performance, but he was banging the mix.
Yeah, obviously got the banner out today as well for Thiago Silva. It's nice to see that as well. Arguably at fault for the first goal, but other than that, I thought he was solid. So probably give him a
Forest
6.
More home wins than us. Fuck me, I didn't realise our season could hit new lows, mate. We got less home wins than Forest. Jesus. Mate, you can have that, mate. But I'm sure you take some of our away wins. You wouldn't mind a few of them.
Bro, how many away wins have we won?
We've got a few away wins. We've got Villa, Leicester, Bournemouth. Fuck, that's 3.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Nah, we've got more away wins than that. Oh, Palace.
Oh yeah, Palace. Yeah, 4.
4. Where else have we won? Surely we ain't only got 4 away wins on the road. No way, 4 away wins.
Oh, bro,
I actually, mate, no joke. I actually think we've only won 4 games on the road.
I'm trying to think.
No, we've won 5 games on the road. We've definitely won somewhere else.
Bournemouth. Which was last week. Wait, did you say Bournemouth?
So on the road then, we've beaten Villa, Palace,
Leicester,
Bournemouth, Leicester.
So that's 4.
That's 4. But surely we have one more somewhere.
There's one more somewhere. I'm trying to think.
No, bro, I'm looking at the table. We haven't beaten City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, no. Spurs, no. Villa, yes, we beat them. Brighton, no. Fulham, no. Brentford, no. Palace, yes. Wolves, no. Bournemouth, yes. West Ham, no. Forest, no. Oh, Everton, right at the start of the season. That was our
my god, flipping out.
First game of the season. Yeah, we got 5 wins. 5 away wins. Jesus Christ. Only won 5 on the road out of 18. No, we've had 16 on the road. Fucking hell, that's awful. Silva today, mate, what would you give him? I'd probably go a 6.
A 6, yeah, I'll go with 6 as well.
I think Chalobah was actually better than him, in all honesty.
Do you think? Oh, okay. Interesting.
He was probably, in terms of overall performance, I probably would say just about. Badiashile, what were your thoughts on him? It wasn't
shaky today.
It was a bit shaky today, wasn't he? He was nowhere near as good as he was last week.
Yeah, no, he was definitely very shaky today. I'll probably give him a 4.5.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I think someone in the chat said it earlier. I think that was his worst performance in a Chelsea shirt.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, to be fair. And yeah, I think he's been class like this season for us.
Oh, he's been phenomenal. It only go from strength to strength, but yeah, that's kind of mad. Not his best day today. Let's move on to Enzo, mate. I thought Enzo was really good today. Again, it's really frustrating because I don't like seeing him playing in the deepest midfield role. I think it limits him. It stops him from getting forward enough where he can do a bit more of that work. That is really helpful to the team. But I thought it was good. Range of passing's good. Yeah, I thought it was quite good overall. I'll probably give him a 6.5.
Yeah. And I thought in the first half Enzo was our best player. He was sort of moving the ball really quick in the middle from side to side, diagonals as well. That he got robbed off an assist as well from Sterling. That ball was like delicious, man, for Sterling, man, on the plate for him. But yeah, I've no doubts about Enzo Fernandez being a good player for us. Just as long as we sign a DM for him, I think we'll get the best out of him.
Get someone to play alongside him.
Yeah, I'll probably give him a 6.5.
Yeah, I think the 6.5. I think the 6.5 is fair. We can't really give. Well, actually, we could give Cover a rating because he did basically play a half. So, I mean, what were your thoughts on him? I thought he was shocking today.
Again, shocking. I give him a 0. Honestly, just terrible. I don't know anything he did right. 0 for him.
He didn't do anything, mate. He did absolutely nothing. I mean, Enzo with a 6.5. Oh, mate, Cover, I'd give him 1.
What's the 1 for? Out of interest.
Just because he turned up to the game.
Attendance.
like an attendance, like an exams, mate, where you get a mark for putting your fucking name on it. One of them. Yeah, shocking. Injury, we don't know what the injury news is on him. Mate, are you surprised though? Because we had Lampard's comments that actually he was basically said before the game that he knew that Kovacic had a problem, yet he still started him. Are you surprised? Are you surprised at that?
It's Frank Lampard. I'm not surprised at anything anymore, bro. Honestly,
but Lampard said that Kova had an issue going into the game. They knew about it. So then why
would you play him then?
Why the fuck did he play him?
I just don't know with this manager anymore, man. General caretaker.
Yeah, because Lampard said, I don't know what his condition is. I know he had a bit of an issue going into the game. It was clear yesterday in training. I spoke to him before to see how it went. I haven't followed it up since the game. We hope he's okay. Fuck knows. But yeah, he was shocking.
Okay. Now I feel a little bit bad for Cover in that sense that Lampard kind of knew, like, with it.
Well, if it was clear in training, then yeah, it's kind of mad, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, let's go Ruben then as well, because Ruben obviously played the second half. Lampard saying afterwards that he would like to have given Ruben more minutes recently, but he's just not been able to. But yeah, what did you make of Ruben? Got the assist for the second goal. I thought he just quietly went about his business in the middle of the park today. Nothing spectacular, but then nothing like shit either. Yeah, exactly. I think for Ruben, probably a 6 is fair. I thought he was all right.
Yeah, I thought he did great coming off the bench for the last sort of 45 minutes. I thought he did pretty good. Won some of his battles, kept the ball at crucial times as well when we needed to keep possession. I thought he did well. They got the assist as well. So, yeah, I'll probably give him a 6 as well.
Yeah, fair. Gallagher. I don't know. He wasn't terrible today, but There just wasn't really anything there. You know, he gets around the pitch. His work rate's great. He got in from good positions, but ultimately, he just didn't really do that much with the ball at all.
He was just killing every attack, man. Just frustrating. And he just that sort of like last pass or like final ball into the attacker. It's just frustrating watching Gallagher, man. It's just gets that yellow card as well every time as well, which is so annoying. Whether that's like
always
putting someone to the ground or that tackle,
always gets booked.
I
think a 5 maybe.
5, wow, that's high, man. I was gonna go
average. It was just average, wasn't he? Maybe 4.5.
Yeah, okay, I can work with 4.5. Yeah.
Let's go Madueke. Obviously, off the back of 2 really good games, Bournemouth and Arsenal. Not as good today. First half, he gave the ball away quite a lot, but at least he was getting the ball and trying to make things happen. I'm okay with people giving the ball away if they're trying to make things happen, rather than just playing boring sideways passive football. At least he tries to do things. He will get better. But yeah, and he deserved to start. And he needs to start again next week. Young players need continuity, particularly wingers. So he does need to start next week as well. But yeah, Madueke.
4.
I'd probably go 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, he was a bit better in the second half. He did see a lot of the ball, but you're going to get inconsistencies with young players. It is as simple as that. I mean, Mudryk today, I don't know why Mudryk was not on the pitch today. It was an absolute disgrace. It really is that Ziyech just getting minutes ahead of Mudryk. Like, it's outrageous. You guarantee, right? If Mudryk had started today and he put in Sterling's first half performance, he would have been subbed at halftime.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah,
he would have been. I don't understand why Lampard is not playing Mudryk. There's literally no excuses for Mudryk not to be playing. 0.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, nothing's riding on this season. Nothing at all. I just don't get it.
If anything, it's the best time to play Mudryk with no pressure.
Well, exactly. Like, there's no reason not to play Mudryk. I don't understand it. It's a fucking joke. I was fuming.
Yeah.
Sterling, mate. 2 goals. First half performance, shocking. Second half performance was a lot better. I mean, obviously the first one's a little bit of a tap in, but right place, right time still applies a finish. Second one's a great finish, curling into that corner. This was his best performance for quite a while. I mean, overall, it was a classic football cliche kind of game of 2 halves. But it really was for Sterling. I mean, what would you give him? I guess overall, he scored 2 goals today. You probably have to look at giving him like a 6.5 or a 7, really. But I mean, that first half performance was shocking.
Yeah, first half was terrible, but second half it looked like sort of the Man City Sterling that we bought. But yeah, I mean, he only did it for 45, whereas Chalobah did it throughout the game. So,
I'm probably going to get 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5 is fair. Yeah, because he only got both the goals as well for us. Yeah, 6.5 is fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Do you think Sterling can continue that this form, or do you think it's a bit of a one-off flash in the pan? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we just reverted back to the Sterling we've seen most of the season for the last 3.
He can, but he won't. That's just how it is.
He always plays shiz against Man City as well.
Oh yeah, we got them next. Yeah, he's definitely starting that game, isn't he? Back at the 8 So yeah.
Felix, I'll be honest with you. I just don't think it worked today. Playing Felix as the forward or the false 9 or whatever you want to call it. I just don't think that worked.
Yeah, nah, it didn't work for him. The
Forest it was just isolated too many times. He's not a massive physical presence. He's up against 2 big centre halves, and what were we really expecting? Yeah, right. He had a decent header from a great cross from Lewis Hall in the first half. Yes, he had a shot that just went over the bar in a second, but ultimately, like, I don't want to compare Felix with Havertz, but we're almost finding ourselves in a similar situation where we don't really know where to put him to get the best out of him. Yes, we know that he's obviously definitely operates best as a 10 or a second striker, but you're not going to play him wide. So you have to either play him as the forward or he's got to be on the bench.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even that dive, that was so annoying, that dive, man. And I think it was the second half, wasn't it? Where he dived and got booked as well.
I mean, that makes a good point. He was isolated quite a lot, but still, like, it's hard. It's difficult to tell where Felix best fits into the system.
No, definitely. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I'm still on the fence with them in terms of if we should keep or sell for next season, or go back to Atletico. Sorry, but yeah, rating I give Felix
4.5,
3.
3. Yeah, it wasn't great today. It really wasn't great.
Yeah.
Let's go the 3. It's a proper mixed bag, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's some really good ones. I mean, Chalobah obviously for me was the one that stood out the most, but then you got players like Kovacic, man, who just like, even though he went off at half time, he was shocking for the 45. Like, it's not like he played well in the first half, went off injured. Unfortunately, he was bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great. It really wasn't great. I mean, I think problem is though, like if we were to get Felix again for another season, it's like him and Nkunku are going to be directly competing for a spot, which is fine. But you cannot have Felix, Nkunku, and Havertz all in the same squad. I just don't think you can. All 3 of them are way too similar. It's got to be 2. If Mount stays, you cannot have Mount, Felix, Nkunku, and Havertz.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean,
it has to be 3 of those. One of those has got to go, maybe 2. Like, for me, it would be Havertz going, and then Felix, I'm very much up in the air about whether it's worth keeping him for another season or not. I think it depends on a number of factors for me. Does Poch want him? And who's leaving?
Yeah,
like that. Those are the variable. Those are the factors. And he's not a priority signing either. If we get everything we need and Poch wants him, okay, fine. Let's explore it. But it's definitely not a priority. It's not a priority at all.
Do you think he will work well with Lukaku? Do you think, like, if
I've got no, I don't really know, mate. I'm not really sure. Maybe. It's hard to tell though, isn't it? I mean, I'd have I would personally have if it was a choice of Nkunku and Felix or Nkunku and Mount, I would have Nkunku and Mount. I just think Mount will be better for Chelsea in the long term than Felix would be. That might be unpopular, that might be wrong, but that's just my thoughts on it, really.
Yeah,
I mean, ideally, I would also do that. Like, for sure.
Sell Havertz, yeah.
I
mean, Havertz has had his chance. I mean, like, Felix is only
3 seasons now. You know, Havertz only scored 19 Premier League goals for Chelsea in 3 years, nearly.
Wow.
Yeah, no, kind of mad, that, isn't it?
That's shocking.
Look, I'd be selling Havertz, but yeah, there's no way you can have Felix and Nkunku, Mount, and Havertz. You know, one of those has to go, maybe even 2. But yeah, seems like a good way to round this one out, guys. There's a lot gone on today. We've obviously had a disappointing 2-2 draw at home to Nottingham Forest, more drop points, but the season's done anyway. But we finally got the Pochettino here we go announcement. A new era is upon us, and we can now finally start planning for the future and all that stuff. We don't have to have any more conversations about when's it going to be announced, who's the new manager going to be. It's done. He's in place. The contract will be signed with an announcement over the coming days. And yeah, really exciting stuff. Really exciting stuff. So disappointment on the pitch today, but off the pitch, some good news. And hopefully Chelsea can start to go on the way up to where they're going. Oh, and Thiago Silva staying as well. I forgot to mention that bit in the good news today also. So yeah, all in all, disappointing result on the pitch. Better stuff off the pitch with Poch announced and Thiago Silva staying as well. We've got a week off. We move to Manchester City next on Sunday. Guys, make sure you smash a like on the stream on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you check out the matchday vlog as well from today's game. It's on the channel now, so I'd really appreciate if you could go and check it out. Smash a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And guys, I'll be back maybe with a couple of call-in shows and whatnot over the next day or so, and some more Chelsea news as and when it comes. So make sure you stay tuned for the content on the channel. Dharmesh, thanks for your time as always, bro. Massively appreciate it. Guys, make sure you go and show Dharmesh some love on Twitter, linked in the description and on his display name as well. But yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Have a great Sunday, and I'll catch you again soon. Up the Chelsea.